Mr Farage, a former military man. Tobias Ellwood says you are the General Melchett of politics. Is that correct? Good morning.
Well, he sounded very scared, didn't he? I'm not surprised, so he should be. You see, now that I'm liberated, Nick, now that I'm not going to be tied to one constituency, where I will have to start from a very, very low base, I mean, remember, the Conservative Party have been about for 200 years, we've been going for 6 months. Now that I'm liberated to get out round the country, I think that both the Conservatives and the Labour Party should be worried because, I'll be going wherever I can, reminding people that there are 5 million people who voted Labour, who were Brexit voters, who were promised the party would implement the referendum, and they've completely been betrayed by this Labour Party. And then, of course, there's Mr Johnson, who is telling us that he will get Brexit done with his Great New Deal. And I think once people understand that all this Great New Deal would do is send us into another 3 years of negotiation at huge cost, and that we would never be fully freed from the institutions of the European Union, I can see why Mr Ellwood was as jumpy as he was earlier.
But as Mr Ellwood said, Nigel Farage, the other party leaders are capable of doing it. Boris Johnson, Jeremy Corbyn. Goodness me, Theresa May did it. Michael Foot was able to do it. Are you a lesser mortal than all of the above?
Theresa May stood in Maidenhead. Nick, anybody could win for the Conservative Party in Maidenhead. You barely need to turn up. That's how our system works. I'm in a different position, a very, very different position, and we are at an absolutely crucial moment for Brexit. I mean, if we continue down this road, we are never going to get a meaningful Brexit at all, and that is my priority. So I'm now able, as I say, liberated, to travel around the country, support my candidates, but more importantly, get this message out to the people that we are being let down by Westminster, who just want to return to business as usual, and it's not good enough.
The Daily Mail says the more plausible reason is that you would lose in a general election wherever you fought. Are they onto it?
Well, what's the choice here? I mean, what is more important? Is it getting me into Parliament, or is it trying to get a significant number of Brexit Party MPs into Parliament to hold the balance of power? Which of those two matters more for Brexit and the country? And I think it has to be getting larger numbers elected.
But if you will allow that one of your great skills is that you know the popular mood, surely it concerns you that both the Sun and the Daily Mail, the two biggest selling papers in the land, are effectively calling you frit, calling you scared.
I couldn't care less. They say what they like. I mean, this is all about the Conservative tribe coming together. Let's just do business as usual, and I'm afraid it's just not good enough. If Boris Johnson had gone for a proper, meaningful Brexit, I would be right behind him, but he hasn't. He's picked up Mrs May's appalling surrender treaty, put a new wrapping on it, and is now pretending to people that this is Brexit. It is not Brexit. It does not free us of the institutions of the European Union. And I think what they're really scared of is the fact that I'm now going to have 5 weeks free to go around the country and to explain this to people.
But if you are successful and the country returns a large number of Brexit MPs to the House, who will the leader be?
Well, whoever it is in the House. I mean, after all, Nicola Sturgeon leads the SNP. She's not in Westminster. Arlene Foster leads the DUP. Arlene Foster leads the DUP, who, of course, have held the balance of power in Westminster for the last 2 years. She's not in Westminster. Things are changing. Things are moving on.
But you would have had the opportunity, every Prime Minister's Question Time, to take Boris Johnson, Jeremy Corbyn, whoever it might be, to take them to task as the leader of the Brexit Party.
Well, I might have been on my own. This way, we might get a decent number of people in there. And I tell you what, we've got some very high-quality people.
Lastly, the Daily Telegraph, of which you might have had sight, Nigel Farage could ruin the UK's hope of Brexit. You are the man who threw away Brexit, so says Steve Baker, who, of course, chairs the ERG, the Conservative European Research Group. Nigel Farage?
Well, Steve Baker, who, of course, opposed everything to do with this treaty, but then, when the three-line whip was on, was a good boy and did what his party told him. What use is that? And, Nick, you're a veteran journalist. You've seen all this before. 2015, the same newspapers said exactly the same things about me when I led UKIP in the general election. And, of course, they were all wrong because UKIP took more votes from the Labour Party than it took from the Tories, and Cameron would not have got a majority without the UKIP vote. And we're in the self-same place here. Everybody is forgetting there are 5 million Labour Leave voters out
Yes.
there, and I'm going to spend the next week every single day in Labour constituencies in the North, the Midlands and South Wales, and they're my number one target vote. So I think in many ways the analysis is as wrong today as it was 4 years ago.
But even your close associate Aaron Banks says you're being a dog in the manger over this. So you're losing the support of the popular press, the support of Aaron Banks. This is a very different Nigel Farage, isn't it?
Well, standing for principle can be difficult sometimes, but that's exactly what I'm doing. I will not stand idly by and see Brexit sold out by Boris Johnson. And I'm urging him to change direction. Let's have a proper Brexit, not a Remainers Brexit.